Well, thanks for taking a minute and hearing a little bit about what is our upcoming and brand new coaching program called the Microsite Coaching Program. My name is Brett. This is Dave and our older gentleman, and this is Taylor, our youngest gun on our team. We are really fired up about being able to introduce to you guys something that is a brand new thing for us. I talked, and we work with Greg Surratt and the team out at Seacoast, and I said, you've spent the last 25 years kind of coming down with your multi-site, top down in church and figuring that out, and we kind of spent the last 25 years working on what is the video-driven small group model. And in there's like this transformer moment. Do you like the transformer illustration? Transformer moment. Yeah, I guess I'm not doing that very good. Where there's a synapse in there. And so, Taylor, you have on our team kind of cracked the code on developing a model that is more conversational and more integrated and kind of church in the round. With that has delivered a whole new model that has kind of emerged to be, the potential of launching microsites, small venue multi-sites that are 10 to 100 folks that are the best of a weekend, a small group, and multi-site.
Yeah, exactly. So in this coaching program, we're going to walk you through what is this town hall format, what are the pieces to it, how do you produce it, and what something seems like so overwhelming. Oh man, producing this thing and custom all this and all that. Don't worry, we have figured out ways to make it easy to understand and something that can be implemented in small churches and large churches. So the town hall format is a conversational format that's engaging. We've been doing a lot of Bible study, small group curriculum with the town hall format. And now we're moving to see how this can be implemented in microsites, conversation services as well. So microsites, we are using the same town hall format. It's conversational, and churches are now that have learned the town hall format are leveraging that for microsites.
It's kind of fascinating because, Dave, you come from a church that was known as one of the epicenters of what is microsites, which is kind of pushing the long play, into a small venue. And I talk about how this is different, or church in the round.
Right. Yeah. So the long play of the weekend, which is sent out into different neighborhoods, people gather and watch it, is not as engaging, I would say, in that you're watching a performance in a sense. Whereas what we're talking about takes more of a small group format so that it's participatory. That's a big word, participatory.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to spell that.
I'm happy you landed it. That was great.
I think I would have tried dialogue.
Yes, it gets people talking to each other and engaging rather than just watching the worship and watching a teacher. It engages them. It draws them into worship.
Okay. It's all right.
And
we got an English class later for you.
It gets them talking about God and the Word together.
What's fun about this is that Taylor and the team got figured out how to shoot this in a way that has the individual that's watching feel like they are a part of the experience, and to be able to catalyze people gathering with other folks that offers what is a video-driven teaching and worship experience in a way that isn't and has never been introduced before in the context of a church setting.
Yeah, exactly. I think the most exciting thing about this for me is I love the worship part of it. We shoot worship.
You don't like teaching, okay? The senior pastors that are out there, you just lost them.
I tell you though, there's something really unique when you not only get your own custom, town hall, a small group curriculum that we do, and now with the microsites, but when you have your team leading worship on video in this kind of format that we shoot it, and you mix those two together, you have the perfect recipe for a microsite service that you can launch. And so the worship that we're shooting is in the round, it's intimate, just like the town hall format. They complement each other really well, and we've just been having a blast shooting these, and it's just really a good marriage when you have those two together like that, and it creates what is now becoming the microsite service.
It's like a Reese's peanut butter cup thing where it kind of gets the best of both together. Well, you guys, the thing about this is small groups is kind of thought to be kind of about assimilation, connection, closing the back door, fellowship, discipleship, and the weekend multi-site has clearly established itself as a way to reach more people. Even a main campus that is more traditional is able to kind of go to another place when they do this. This is just, yet again, the next gen. And so what we're doing is giving you the how-to, the nuts and bolts, and to figure out how to do this in your local church, to stage and sequence this, to figure out how to fund it, to be able to understand, how to launch the initiative and introduce it to the rest of your team, how to produce it from beginning to end. There's so many other pieces of the puzzle, all of which Dave is going to tell you right now.
Well, first of all, a microsite we would define as larger than a small group, smaller than a multi-site. It's remote in some way. It's not at the main campus. It could be be in the neighborhood, in the next county, in the next state, or across the world. And it's a way to leverage technology and the engagement of a small group in a larger setting to help grow the kingdom.
Yeah, it's so fun. I mean, you just even think about it, you guys. I came to Christ in a small group. Certainly got plugged into a local church with Bill Hybels and Rick Warren giving me the church is the hope of the world with Bill, and that with Rick that the church is the greatest life change agent in the world. But everybody always says small groups, are where life change happens. Okay, somebody's lying or somebody doesn't get it. But you put all this together, and we've got something that is far more exponential. It actually is the multiplier of the X factor of what is multi-site. So main site, multi-site. This is taking it to the next level. But that's why we're working with folks like Jim Tomberlin and Kevin Penry and all these guys that are multi-site experts, in particular Jim, to be able to figure out how to help you guys introduce this aspect with the best of that three-legged stool of small groups, weekend service, and multi-site. So Taylor, why don't you kind of bring us home, give us another piece or two that you feel like would be helpful in having them kind of get the heart of what we're going to do in the coaching program.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're like me, if you're a logistics person, you're thinking, wow, all this sounds great, but man, how do I dot all these I's and cross all these T's? And we're going to walk you through all of that in the coaching program, from how do you train up volunteers, how do you utilize existing staff that may have some talents there that can be utilized, what equipment do you get, how do you schedule these things, where do you shoot these things?
Right.
I mean, there's so much that can
it's
go
mind-boggling even you saying it.
But we're going to walk you through all of that so that it's a systemized process. I mean, even the back end. I mean, how do we take all this footage and edit it so quickly that we need it? And how do we project management side? You'll probably have someone on your staff and on your team that's a project manager. And how do they manage this with everything else that they have going on? Well, we are going to show you a look into how we manage our projects so that you can take that into your church and you can waste less time, trying to figure it out on your own and learn whatever we can.
Right. Yeah.
Dave, bring us home.
Yeah, multi-sites are expensive. It takes a lot of money to launch, a lot of manpower. You can do microsites for about 1/10 of the cost of launching a multi-site. And it has the potential to grow as you gather people in clusters. It could grow into a multi-site and feed back into the church and bring resources in.
Well, hopefully it just gives you a little sampler, a little taste of where we're wanting to go with what is the Microsite coaching program. We've got a bunch of guest speakers. We got other churches that will be a part of this cohort. It's kind of a pilot in this next phase. We're looking for a handful of churches that kind of want to get in early so that we can all learn together. We'll share with you those stories. You'll help shape those with your stories as well. But to the degree that this interests you or you're intrigued in some way, feel free to call our team, and we'll go ahead and set up what is a conference call to kind of tell you a little bit more, outline how the relationship is going to work, how we might come out and be on your campus to do a strategy meeting and then do a production meeting and then coach you via Skype with a handful of other churches that are like mine and like Stage. Well, thanks you guys, both of you guys, and for those of you that are taking a moment to do this. And we just pray that God uses this even as a catalytic tool to be able to give you and your team the ideas that might take things to the next level for the sake of the gospel and the kingdom. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.